How's it going, you guys? Welcome back to ConstantlyVariedFitness. Hudson here, and in today's video, I'm going to talk to you guys about 5 things you need to start doing once you start CrossFit. So I recommend this from day 1, or if you're up to 6 months into CrossFit, I recommend sticking throughout this whole video where I break down these 5 things that are going to make a huge difference on helping you see results, feel good, stay safe, and pretty much just have a great time in the gym. Because a lot of us, you're paying, top dollar to go to a CrossFit gym. It's much more expensive than going to a regular gym and kind of just playing around with machines. So you want to make sure you're utilizing all of the advantages of going to a CrossFit gym to, again, maximize those results you're getting. So real quick, I want to mention to you guys that if you have any other video recommendations you'd like to see, let me know down below in the comments. I have a huge list that I keep adding to, that I keep slowly chipping away and making videos for, but if there's something specific that you guys want to see, let me know and I'll put those high up on the priority list and get those to you done right away, especially now that we're done with the open. Most people are going to be kind of like in an off-season kind of type deal, focusing on certain movements or strength lifts. So if you're in that realm and you want to get better at certain things, but you have questions and maybe you're not getting answered in the gym, leave them down below and I'll be sure to make videos on them for you guys. But I really like doing these kind of just whiteboard videos. Let me know if you like these or you want to see more like technique videos, things like that. So 5 things you need to start doing when you start CrossFit. These are in no particular order. They're all very important, but some might be more important to others based off of what your goals are. But the first one I think I can agree that everyone would benefit from is ask as many questions as you'd like before and or after you sign up. So unless if you live in a town with a population of like 10,000 people, most places will have a couple gym options you can go to within your daily commute. So definitely check out all the gyms' websites. Maybe you can pop in and ask them a few questions. Maybe they offer like a free intro class every now and then. Go check them out, see how the classes are, see how the coaches, see how the community is, and see if that's something you'd want to do, because that's a big part of CrossFit. You're not just paying for a facility, which I feel like some gyms think that's the case. They think if we build a nice big building with fancy equipment, they'll come, but then they end up leaving very shortly after that. So make sure everything seems nice, people are friendly, coaches are friendly and knowledgeable. It was a great hour class and you really loved it and you'd want to go back for plenty more classes. Don't just sign up and think, oh, it should get better from here. It should be amazing starting day 1. So ask as many questions before you even go to the gym. Once you start going to the gym, it's not just wing it and then, if you have questions, kind of hold them down inside and just go through the motions. If you have questions about certain movements, if something doesn't feel right, something doesn't look good, ask your coach for, as much help as you need. That's the point of them being there. And then that'll help you see a lot more progress versus some people I can tell they kind of they have an ego. Maybe when they come into the gym, maybe they are, they come from like a bodybuilding background. They did Spartan races or they did whatever it is, and they think they have a good athletic background to begin with. I don't care who you are. If you've never cleaned before, cleans are tough. If you've never done toes to bar before, toes to bar can be tough. So make sure you ask questions, learn as much as you can about the movements and the workouts that you're doing, so that way you can hit them effectively and get the most out of that workout. Number 2 is spend a little time the night before learning the movements. So pretty much, I feel like 90% of us probably look at the workout online the night before, unless you're like that 10% that doesn't like to look, because if you look, you might not show up. But for many of us, we like to see and get kind of excited for what the next day's workout's going to be. And I recommend if you see something on that list that you're not quite familiar with, don't be afraid to do a Google search or a YouTube search and then look up a video or 2 of those things. Obviously, your coach should be explaining these things, breaking them down, giving you guys progressions and things like that to make sure everyone's doing the movement correctly. But it gives you a lot of advantage if you kind of have an idea of what it's going to look like and what to expect. Because then if you do have a bunch of questions, the coach can't answer just all your questions at once. If you have 10 questions on the movement and doesn't, lots going on, if you kind of have already some of your questions answered before you come in, the coach can quickly answer your questions and go on to everyone else, especially if your gym has classes that average 10 to 15 to 20 people per class. They can't spend 10 minutes on you solely working on this movement. So make sure, I highly recommend looking up the night before, what is a SDHP, what is a kettlebell tater, what is all these different accessory movements we can be doing in the gym. So looking it up the night before, spend 5-10 minutes, helps you get more excited for the workout, be more prepared, and answer all those previous questions you might have before you actually try it out. Number 3 is be aware of how you move and how you feel. So first, there's 2 different scenarios for this. Be aware of how you move. So a lot of times as people come to the gym and I'll be teaching them how to do, like, let's say a hang power clean. And they look around and they're watching everyone else do the movement and they can tell that they're not doing it correctly. So we go and we help them. We try to get as close to the correct movement as possible for that day. But I have some people that come into the gym and don't care at all, and they're hang power clean, so it's from the knee to the shoulder, like, okay, boom, and they're banging out the ugliest hang power clean / reverse bicycle in the world, but they think they're doing it right. Make sure that don't get wrapped up in what everyone else is doing too much, but definitely, if there's 1% excels in the gym, you can kind of keep an eye on them and see how they move, but don't also just go through the motions and just get things done. You want to make sure you are moving correctly and efficiently to prevent injuries and to make sure you're preventing plateaus down the road and not hit, be stagnant at a weight for 6 months, a year and a half. Because that's what I answer a lot of people's questions on Instagram. If you guys have any videos or things you want me to review or give feedback on, please feel free to leave them on Instagram at ConstantlyVariedFitness. But I'm talking super fast. But I answer a lot of questions and help people out of videos on there. And a lot of times just, there's one or two little things setting people back. And I say, hey, fix that or adjust this. And then all of a sudden, boom, they hit a new max lift. Or they're able to bust out a bigger set of toes to bar or strict pull-ups, whatever it is. It's these minor little tweaks that can make a huge difference down the road and help you see a lot more progress. So make sure you are moving as effectively as you can, move with a purpose. And if you have questions, it doesn't look right, say, hey, why did my hang cleans not look like Becky, who can hang clean 1,000,000 pounds more than me? Another part of that is, how do you feel? So I have some athletes that'll move really, really good. Like the hang power clean looks nice, but then they kind of like make a weird little face at the end of the lift. Like, it's going back to the hang power clean example. They do a hang power clean, they kind of like clench their teeth and close their eyes for a quick second. I'm like, well, how does that feel? And they go, oh, my right shoulder kind of feels funky, or my trap, or like when I curl it, my wrists really kill me. So even though I might, if I just glance over and I look at the movement as a whole, it looks very, very nice, there still could be things that are, don't feel nice. And I always tell someone, whenever someone comes into my gym for the first time, I haven't seen them before, I say, do you have any injuries, aches, pains, anything that bothers you, certain things you can't do, limitations? And then from there I say, okay, thanks for letting me know. If anything does feel weird or anything does bug today, please make sure to let me know and I'll give you some modifications and we'll work on those things. So just because a coach might say, if that looks good, but it doesn't feel good, doesn't mean that you should just keep doing it. It means we need to fix what is causing that pain, because that's more important in my opinion, is if you already have pain, we need to fix that, versus if someone can kind of get away with decent technique, then you're much less likely to experience pain down the road if it looks okay, versus if you already have pain and you just keep doing the pain, keep causing that pain to your shoulder, whatever it is, it's only going to get worse. So pain, no, what is it saying? No pain, no gain? Not true. Don't believe that. Now, number 4, listen to how your body feels every day. Now, when people come into the gym, I have two different types of people that come into the gym when they first start. The person that you kind of gotta, shoot them a reminder text, bug them, say, hey, how's it going? I haven't seen you in a while, and get them to come to the gym, at least 2 or 3 times a week. Some people that come to the gym, they're like, I want to lose so much weight, I want to get strong, I want to focus on these things, and they fall in love with CrossFit, and they're coming like 6-7 days a week. I was there at one point, I was going all the time, and I loved it, but I felt like me doing so much, it was causing me to not see as much results as I could, or even degress in certain areas, because I wasn't giving my body enough time to recover and heal. So every single day when you wake up, assess, do I feel okay today? My hips are a little bit tight, but everything else feels good. Okay, when I get to the gym, I'll make sure I stretch out my hips if my coach doesn't already have hip stretches planned for that day, and then I should be good. But if you wake up and you're like, oh, my lower back is lit and my hamstrings and my shoulders and my neck is sore and everything's super tight, maybe you take a day off from that day. But let's say, again, you're addicted, you love CrossFit, you don't want to take a day off, go to the gym. You can do one of 2 things. You can either A, just do a really light accessory type day, if either your gym offers an open gym, and ask your coach, hey, what are some things I can do instead to do on my own? Or maybe you have a really experienced coach that can just give you some modifications and give you other things to work on during the class time, so you're still that community aspect. So I have some athletes that have nagging shoulder injuries, they can't snatch at the current time. That's fine. I can give you 10 different other movements we can work on that will help you get to whatever your goals are, and I ask them for the day, what do you want to work on? The guys, I want to work on bench. Bench doesn't hurt. Okay, let's bench. Girls, like, I want to, work on my lats and get better pull-up strength. Okay, I'll give you a pull-up progression. So based off how you feel for that day, you can either A, take a full rest day and just relax. You can come into the gym, do a light accessory day, or just modify the movements. Or if you feel not too bad, just make sure you are priming yourself. But once you get into the gym, before the class starts, make sure you feel good for the class. Because I have athletes, well, not again, but I have athletes that come in 30 minutes before class, they use some of their own accessory they've asked for in the past. They say, hey, my shoulder always does this weird clicking thing. I give them some accessory. They do that before class, they do a stretch, they do a bunch of other stuff for themselves individually, and then they can do the class and they feel better for the class, because we're not all the same. We all have different backgrounds, we all have different athletic backgrounds, we all have different injuries. There's so many different things that tie into what you would need before the class. So I'm not, as a coach, I love giving my athletes accessory to do, 10 to 15 minutes before the class. Some of you guys want to have time for it. You could either do it before you go to bed, you do it first thing in the morning, you could do it after class. There's different times that would be more what's what I'm looking for, appropriate and more ideal for certain situations, if it's an injury or it's an imbalance or things like that. But just get it done. Anybody, I don't care who you are, can fit in 10 to 15 minutes of an accessory piece or stretches to make sure you feel good. Especially if you love CrossFit, you want to keep going and you don't want to experience pain, because if you're like me, being uncomfortable is not fun. I want to make sure I feel good every single day I go in to do a workout. Now, that was kind of long. Lastly, log all of your progress. So some of us might not care what our max snatch is. Some of us might not care about our 1K row time. Some of us might not care about our Fran time. There's so many different people in the gym that all have different goals, again, that may not care about certain things versus other things. No matter what it is, you should still be tracking your progress, because even though you might not care about your max snatch, but me as a coach, knowing your max snatch helps me give you weight recommendations for workouts that have snatches later on. It shows how powerful you are. If you have a really heavy snatch, dang, you must be really explosive off the floor, and you have really good overhead positioning, and it gives me a lot to piggyback off of when it comes to other movements we have to do later on. So if we have a workout that has 115 pound overhead squats, and you're a lady and you don't know, I say, what's your max snatch? And you say, oh, I don't know. Well, then I don't really know what to give you for an overhead squat weight recommendation. But if you say, my max snatch is 115, I say, okay, maybe let's lighten that load to like 85 or 75 pounds. You say, my max snatch is 155, okay, cool. I think 115 would be great for this workout, depending on the reps or whatever it is. So logging your progress is super important that way. But also, again, if you are someone, I keep saying again, but also if you are someone that just wants to see progress all around, don't just guess what your weights are. Don't just think like, oh, okay, my max is around this, or I think I benched this much last week, or last week on the Metcon I got this time. Have a book. If your gym doesn't have like a Wodify or some type of online or application service that you can log in all your stuff on, just write down just the basic stuff. Write down the benchmarks. So write down your 500 meter row time, your 1K row time, your 2K row time. Write down your 400 meter run, your 1 mile run. Write down your max deadlift, your max clean, your max snatch, your max back squat. At least the bare minimum, like the solid things that you see very often, because we don't do the same workouts every single day in CrossFit. Write down the things that are going to be very routine in the programming, so that way, again, as I keep saying again, I'm going to try to stop saying it the rest of the video. So that way, you as yourself, you will have a better idea of what you should do for weight percentages for the strength, what to do for the Metcon. If you don't know, but you have those numbers, then I as a coach have a better idea of, okay, I want you to do this weight, I want you to do this percentage, or whatever it may be. So these are the 5 things that I highly recommend you do or you implement once you start doing CrossFit to make a huge difference on your results, help you have more fun, stay safe, all that good stuff, because I don't know about you guys, but CrossFit is really fun. I want to have a long, healthy career in the sport, whether or not be a career, maybe just recreational. You want to make sure that you are not experiencing road bumps along the way. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure you subscribe for plenty more. I post a video every few days. Make sure you leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. If you want to, follow us on Instagram at ConstantlyVariedFitness, where I post a bunch of funny memes all day long, and I also share a lot of information that I see online, discounts, articles, cool things that I, in the CrossFit realm that I want to share with you guys. So thank you for watching this video. We'll see you guys in the next one.